what that means? You going up against somebody who got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
I told you you can't trust me. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Puffy's sucking. Puff said he's gonna walk up on 50 Cent and punch him in the face.
Yeah, he said, I'm just gonna punch him in the face.
Inform Curtis I haven't finished yet. Hours after Diddy won his RICO lawsuit, 50 Cent received this message. Furthermore, according to sources, it wasn't from one of his attorneys. Diddy himself said that, as you have already heard by now, Diddy was acquitted of the most serious allegation that may have resulted in his death. And a few hours after the decision, 50 became viral when this screenshot appeared online, revealing that he had received a threatening message from a burner account. As everyone is aware, 50 has been harassing Diddy on social media for years. In one such post, 50 wrote, "You know there ain't no seat on that bike, right?" In addition, 50 was calling Diddy fluffy and dragging him in interviews when he wasn't being messy on Instagram.
Now, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my.
However, this is not the same. You see, the documentary that 50 is making is the true reason Diddy is now threatening 50 from a phony account. Was it him? Here's why. Despite the ruling, production on the documentary is still ongoing. In fact, 50 said he would reveal much, more than what we were told throughout the trial. What is 50 sitting on, though? Did Diddy just threaten him because of this? If you paid careful attention to the trial, you are aware that many dubious things occurred, such as when Morin Cummy, the man who reportedly assisted in the cover-up of the Epstein case, abruptly replaced the original prosecutor, Christina Carorm, Diddy's right-hand lady. Comes next, several witnesses identified her as a co-conspirator. However, the federal government disregarded this, and nobody is aware of Christina's whereabouts. Even more alarming information was concealed by the mainstream media. However, 50 Cent has now pledged to reveal all of that and more. However, you can see that Diddy is anxious to maintain it that way, given that he may be walking free. His threat to 50 makes it quite evident that he will do everything it takes to keep himself safe. Additionally, it's impossible to predict what Diddy would do when he leaves. He may go after 50's alliances and financial dealings, or he might do something worse. Because Capricorn Clark, one of the witnesses, has already told us that Diddy intended to remove 50.
Started off this morning with Capricorn Clark. She's a former Diddy assistant, former marketing manager for Sean John. Oh, she talked about 50 Cent. So I don't know what year this was, but she said that Diddy was doing a press event with 50 Cent at MTV, and they actually shared the same manager at this point, and his name was Chris Lighty. And she said that Chris Lighty and herself and Diddy got into an elevator, and Diddy was having a problem with 50 Cent, and he said something like, you know, I don't like the back and forth, I like done.
Let's start with that menacing message, "Tell Curtis I ain't done yet." It came from a burner account that had gone silent for months, reactivating just hours after Diddy's RICO acquittal. That single freeze reignited suspicions. According to multiple sources, Diddy had threatened 50 Cent before. Capricorn Clark, Diddy's former assistant, even testified in May that she overheard Diddy implying he was armed during an MTV event and expressing his disdain for 50. 50 responded in his usual sarcastic way, joking that he'd be hiding at a playoff game. But the timing is key. This happened when most assumed Diddy would face life in prison.
Now, Cliff, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said.
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January.
Oh, that's why I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what the
What'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of that's what a guy says to a girl.
But you've been getting that for over a decade. I remember when you said the top feels so much better than the bottom.
Yeah, I've been saying this. Everybody see, don't make like it's just me, man. Fluffy do some like, a little fluffy stuff.
Now you guys
on.
are all in some hip hop.
Diddy wants to do something to 50 because of these jokes. The stakes are bigger this time, but he could have done it years before. And it's all related to Did He Do It? 50 Cent's impending documentary. Why? Since it was just discovered that 50 is shifting his relationship with his doctor and wants to learn more about the individuals that are behind Diddy. According to Variety, 50's documentary series will provide a multi-decade story that goes beyond the headlines and snippets that have been shown so far. Now, Did He Do It began as an expose of Diddy's outrageous conduct, particularly his freak-off parties with other celebrities. However, the project is now taking a more sinister and hazardous turn after Diddy defeated the RICO charge. In reality, a footage purportedly from 50's documentary was released not long ago, and it shows what seems to be an eyes wide shut party at Diddy's mansion. Ritual vibes, masks, deer antlers, all of it.
Just recently, a clip leaked that's supposedly from 50's documentary, showing what looks like some kind of eyes wide shut party at Diddy's mansion. Masks, deer antlers, ritual vibes, the whole nine.
It will be exposed. I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the sex. Little things that I personally like. A lot of ladies, they just, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Right. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors. P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
A far darker aspect of this event that most people are unaware of is soon to be revealed by 50's documentary. Assuming that film is authentic, it becomes much nastier. However, sources close to the production claim that 50 made the decision to thoroughly examine the portions of the tale that were overlooked during the trial. Additionally, he wants to address the issue at hand. That instance, the allegations that Diddy was employed as a government asset and that the trial was a ploy to divert attention. Do you recall when Diddy was referred to as a Fed by Kanye years ago? It seems that something has been discovered that would support this notion.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard niggas. Wait, hold on. Okay. All you fake hard, you know what I'm saying? I don't give because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you gotta talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my coat up.
However, how precisely does he want to demonstrate that Diddy may have been a federal asset? First of all, he wants a segment of his documentary series to focus on Christina Korum, Diddy's enigmatic acquaintance and purported madam, who was purportedly to Diddy what Jeffrey Epstein was to Ghislaine Maxwell. Because Christina Korum was Diddy's right-hand lady for years, the mainstream media suggested that she may be the key to the prosecution when Diddy was arrested last year.
New speculation, a woman at the center of Sean's orbit and business empire could potentially hold the key to the prosecution. She is Christina Korum, seen here with Diddy in Florida in November after he settled his case with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Diddy posted this photo of her to Facebook saying, Christina, aka KK, keeps everything in my life and my business running. She's my right hand. In a separate lawsuit against Combs, music producer Rodney Jones used this same photo, calling Korum the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein. She was referenced 64 times.
However, Christina's name seldom surfaced throughout the trial. Cassie did, however, bring up Christina in her testimony, alleging that she was monitored by Christina on Diddy's behalf. Cassie said in her testimony that she spoke with Christina almost daily about schedule, Diddy's attitude, and how to deal with him that day. I discussed a lot of things with KK, Cassie claimed to have extensive knowledge of my personal belongings, and another victim, Jane, displayed a text message she got from Christina telling her it's okay and encouraging her to board a commercial airplane with illicit drugs. I constantly do it. What then is the reason for Christina's exclusion as a witness? At first, Diddy's prosecutors named Christina as one of Diddy's co-conspirators, CNN reports. However, they then stopped talking about her altogether, which is quite suspicious since if she was really Diddy's co-conspirator, the prosecution could have shown the racketeering aspect by summoning her to testify. All of this is illogical. 50 Cent wants to bring attention to Christina for just this reason. Additionally, many are already conjecturing that the prosecution bungled the case mostly because of Christina. Some even claim that the trial was a cover-up to protect larger targets. People think that the Diddy saga is over, but it is not, one ex-user said. This was the extent to which the state was involved in the cover-up. This will be more complicated. Consider why a certain Cummy was involved and why Christina Korum KK was not called to testify. This is only the beginning. What part does this Cummy individual play in all of this? And who is this person? This user is alluding to the case's primary prosecutor, Maureen Cummy, who joined the prosecution team shortly after Diddy's arrest on November 25, 2024, when Damian Williams announced his retirement, and it was all very suspiciously timed. From the beginning, Damian Williams was in charge of the Diddy case. Why, therefore, did he withdraw just before Diddy's trial? The Cummy name associated with the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell trial is Maureen because Diddy's blackmail database supposedly contains information and video on prominent politicians, media moguls, and business leaders. There are now accusations that certain segments of the US government may have purposefully ignored Diddy's blackmail scheme or even helped to carry it out. Recall that during the searches, the authorities said they seized many videos from Diddy's estates. However, they have yet to disclose the identity of the individuals on those videos. If this is accurate, the whole situation is much larger than Diddy. It's beginning to seem that Diddy, like Jeffrey Epstein, was only a middleman. Now, there are rumors that Diddy was a protected intelligence asset doing a clandestine mission for a much more powerful organization. Indeed, according to a recent statement by former U.S. Attorney Brett Tillman, Diddy and Epstein operated essentially the same extortion schemes, given that
Epstein, you see others, there's rumors that float around that they worked, with the government agencies at times, and I would not doubt that. I would not doubt that there were CIA operations or FBI operations that were ongoing over the many decades in which many times these individuals were operating, criminally. And you go back to Epstein, and I was flabbergasted at the deal that, my colleague and friend, Alex Acosta, the U.S. attorney at the time in Florida, offered to Epstein. I mean, the only reason that you would believe that such a deal would be granted in that kind of a case and investigation was if there was solid information. Of course, we'll never know at this point, but there had to have been some solid information about some very high-level targets in order to give such a deal to an individual that was such a...
Given that this goes much deeper than Diddy's, it is not unexpected that 50 Cent is receiving threats if he is indeed researching all of this for his documentary. Fans have previously cautioned 50 to exercise caution, but he has made it apparent that he has no intention of backing down. I should be afraid of Diddy, but 50 fought back as his admirers bombarded his Instagram with comments claiming that Diddy will seek retribution. He called Diddy a homosexual Teflon Don and wrote, "Get the F off my page talking about." In response, 50 now claims he is not afraid. However, the individuals he is exposing are not only dishonest, they don't forget, and they control the game.